Today's lesson is pairs of angles with 3 lines. This is where we're going to be starting to talk about with a transversal. I'm going to pre-teach the vocabulary with a foldable. So our vocabulary is alternate exterior angles, consecutive exterior angles, alternate interior angles, consecutive interior angles, corresponding angles, and a transversal. So our learning objective today is I can state the angle pair with 3 lines by identifying the transversal first and then interior, exterior parts applying the definition. I just want to remember that in the previous unit, we talked about some angle pairs that we will use all year. And vertical angles are angles that are across from each other are congruent. And when I have 2 lines, I have 2 pairs of vertical angles. And I also have supplementary angles. I need 2 angles that are adjacent will be 180 degrees. So I'm going to use those 2 facts, knowing that when I have 2 angles or 2 lines, I create 4 angles. And then if I come over here and look and I have 3 lines, I create 8 angles. So the first thing I always want to do is identify is the transversal. It's the line that intersects 2 coplanar lines at different points. So this line T is intersecting my other 2 lines. So I know line T is the transversal. So I always want to identify that first. And then when I have 3 lines involved, I have 8 sets of angles. All right, so let's start out with alternate exterior angles. So I'm going to start by saying let's identify the transversal first. So the transversal first is the line that goes across the other 2 lines. So this is line D. So alternate exterior angles are the 2 angles that lie on the outside of the 2 lines on opposite sides of the transversal. All right, so let's get started with exterior and what exterior means. So exterior means the outside. So outside of the 2 lines. So I would be talking about this area and this area. So these are outside of the 2 lines. So my exterior angles are going to be, I have 2 pairs of them. So my exterior angles, and they're alternate. So that means one is on each side of the transversal. So one angle is going to be angle 1. And then I want one on the other side of the transversal. So that'll be angle 7. I have 2 pairs of alternate exterior angles. So my other pair of angles is going to be angle number 2 and angle number 8. Okay, so angles 1, 2, 7, and 8 are on the exterior. But then when I'm talking about a pair and they're an alternate, that means I have one on each side. Okay, so consecutive exterior angles. I'm still talking about on the exterior, but this time I'm going to have them in a row. So let's start out with, I want to name my transversal. So my transversal is line G. And I know that because I'm intersecting the other two lines here. So this time, when I have consecutive, I don't want to be on different sides of the transversal. I want to be on the same side of the transversal. So my consecutive exterior angle pairs are angle 1 and angle 8 and angle 2 and angle 7. Okay, those are my exterior angles. All right, next we're going to talk about interior angles. So interior means I'm between my two lines. So I'm in this area. Exterior is outside, interior is inside or between. So when we're doing these, it's easiest to identify the transversal first. So for my alternate interior angles, my transversal is line G. And I know this because it goes across the other two lines. So I have intersections with these two lines. So alternate means I have one on each side of the transversal. But this time I'm talking about angles 3, 4, 5, and 6. These four angles on the inside here. So angle 4, and on the other side of the transversal would be angle 6. So angle 4 and angle 6. And my other pair would be angle 3 and angle 5 because I have them on the inside. And alternate means one on each side of the transversal. So angle 3 and angle 5. So those are alternate interior angles. So consecutive interior angles. So again, we're going to identify the transversal first is line C. And I know line C because it crosses the other two lines here. So again, I'm talking about angles 3, 4, 5, and 6 because I'm on the interior. But this time I want them consecutive. So I don't want them on opposite sides of the transversal. So I want them on the same side of the transversal. So 4 and 5. And angle 3 and 6. Okay, I have one more type of angle pair. So there's 5 types of angle pairs. And the last one is called corresponding angles. And corresponding means I'm in the same relative position. Okay, so let's start with the transversal. My transversal is line W. And I know W is the transversal because it goes across the other two lines here, intersects here. So corresponding means the same relative position. Okay, so top left means I'm in the top left on both. So top left on both would be angle 1 and angle 5. So you'll notice I have one on the exterior and one on the interior. I can say top right. So my top right and my top right are angles 2 and angle 6. Bottom left. So bottom left and bottom left, angle 4 and angle 8. and bottom right. And bottom right. So angle 3 and angle 7. So corresponding, I have one angle on the interior and one angle on the exterior. Okay, that's the end.